game is afoot. Not a word. Into your clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade. A letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Alright, letter time, I guess. A colossal scandal in high society. The well-known and remarkable archaeologist, the pride of our nation, Sir Rodney Bentcliffe, has been found murdered. The crime took place at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane, the location of the archaeologist's most recent research. But what is most shocking is the murder of Sir Rodney was at the hand of his former friend and partner, Percival Blinkhorn. What a nerdy name. The death sentence is the only possible punishment for this breed of villain. Regrettable.
This is where I keep my post.
I guess we just talk to you.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
It is. Which table? There's...
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take...
This table? Okay, we have a lot of tables, Watson.
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
What? You're implying that... Are you implying that this is like shabby, rushed handwriting? That's immaculate.
A wax seal with the monogram E.B. The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
My dear Mr. Holmes, I should be very glad of your immediate assistance in what promises to be a most remarkable case. It is something quite in your line. Except for releasing the lady, I will see that everything is kept exactly as I have found it. But I beg you not to lose an instant, as it is difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Okay.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Not
Promising,
much.
as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Let's go. I like how they have this, like, tiny little map in his notebook. So they have to keep just, like, sticking new maps in there to actually show where we're going. Okay, it loaded once, it's loading again now.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses.
This room has a kind of weird vibe.
That there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid to raise a right.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
This room has a weird vibe. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's a little too well lit. You know what I mean? Like, something about it is just kind of weird. I don't like it.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know where anything is, though. This must be the morning room.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please
Sus.
accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
So, I was under the impression you were assaulted during, like, the break-in. You're saying this was your husband? Fresh bruises. Pale cheeks. Kangaroo and emu. Australian origin. Elegant dress. Old bruises. Okay, well, old bruises will do it, yeah. Wedding ring. Well, we knew that.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
So this
And
was
then-
during the break-in.
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had hurt them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
So...
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Which is what makes this a little suspicious.
ladyship.
I'm not really judging you if you did, to be honest, but also, I do suspect you.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Let's have a gander. Wrinkles. Really? I mean, I guess. Vinny, that's a little caring. Okay, sure. Oh, stains. Coffee stain. Right. And And... Oh. Working hands. Okay.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge.
You are very
But I
uncanny.
thought nothing of it at the time. If I'd known...
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
It seems like a bit of a weird chain of events. This is mine now. Family business booming. The Randall gang is back on the street. Less than a fortnight ago, this infamous family of burglars, the Randalls as they are known, made their appearance by way of a brutal but successful intrusion into one of the wealthier homes in Sydenham. Sydenham? I don't know. The police are already on their trail. However, this is 5 pages. However, the details of the crime are being kept confidential, including that of the name of the victim. A witness was able to provide a precise description of all 3 men, and this will surely give the police a chance to complete their profile on this family of delinquents. We would take the liberty of reminding our esteemed readers about this highly dangerous band, and to provide the full description, as it is available at this time. The gang has been in business for some considerable time, being a family of 3, a father and 2 sons. The elder, Jack Randall, is a man in his 40s and already grayed hair, while of average height and build. Being the mastermind behind the burglaries, he retains control over his sons, both of whom are close in age but very different in appearance. The first son, William Randall, is tall and broad-shouldered with a small, disproportionate head. The younger brother, Melvin, unfortunate, is of a somewhat weaker constitution, classic Melvin, and is as skinny as a rake, classic Melvin. The gang is wanted not only for their frequent thefts and break-ins, but for the exceptionally brutal pirate career they enjoyed before returning to England. Be alert, and may your valuables stay safe.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Is it really? She didn't describe them that in that much detail. She was like, an elder man and 2 younger men. She didn't mention a tiny head. This is a fucking creepy looking picture, dude.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one?
Steal it. I guess that's what we're actually going to do. Oh.
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
Oh, we are stealing it. Okay. Tight. Why did we do that? Wait, what am I looking at? It had the prompt up. Yeah, what am I looking for in here? Look at the desk again? No. What do you want? Is it you? What? It's got the prompt up there. Oh, this? Oh, I see.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
Move. Behold.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
It's gonna be really unfortunate if we find like the stolen item in there, isn't it?
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it.
Mm-hmm.
Your ladyship?
Anyway. Anything else in the room? Alright. We gotta crack the case of the wall safe.
Sir Wortham Brackenstall.
He looks like a right cunt.
Lord George Brackenstall.
He looks like an even righter cunt.
Lord Brigham Brackenstall.
These... Okay.
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
And the vampire.
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
Yep, no way a baron's
The
not a
Brackenstall
vampire.
family seems rather austere.
That's sure one way to put it, I suppose. You know, if you're feeling less polite than me. Does this go anywhere?
Still in the dining room where the murder took place.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, relax, Jesus Christ.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
You sounds good. Let's do it.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
Mm-hmm. So,
That must be the murder weapon.
probably, yeah. Seems pretty likely.
Barefoot. He had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress.
But he still put his fucking suspenders on? Alright.
Quite a large stick. A formidable weapon.
Let's not get carried away. Anything else? Nothing else? A little bit of that. No? We sure? Not missing anything this time? Oh!
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
Does he have multiple head wounds? I kinda got the impression he only had one head wound. Bent poker. Oh, that's bent. I thought it was... Okay. Damn, he really got cranked by it if that's what bent it. There's no... It's bent at like a fucking 90-degree angle, though. Like, that's a pretty sharp angle for bending against his head. Bent poker. Fireplace grate? Alright, fine. Dead body. The death of Sir Eustace could have been due to a poker blow. I'm not sure it was. Fireplace grate. Dead body. Yeah. Because to me... Well, accident. Hold on. Let's not get carried away here. Maybe, but... Because to me, it looks like the poker was being used to pry something. Criminals identified. Randalls are well known. Fair enough. Yeah, could just be that. My immediate inclination is to be suspicious of the wife, because she has a pretty obvious reason to murder him. You know, just... you never know. Anyway.
A fur trader's cabin.
Mantelpiece. That it is. Oh.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
Oh? Well, what the fuck does that tell us?
Sailor's knots. That's interesting.
Oh, this is the bell
handled
rope.
By the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me.
That's the bell rope, isn't it? Go find Toby. I think I know where Toby is, but we've got other things to think about right now. Yeah, that's the bell rope. Nothing else?
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
Alright. I mean, like... very little seems like it was robbed. You know?
These wine bottles are expensive.
Granted, they would have been interrupted, but...
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
Yeah, exactly.
An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
But nothing else.
A bottle of wine is missing here. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
Like, granted, they would have been interrupted, but I mean, there's more valuables within eyesight still.
The hunting scene.
So, anything else around here? Oh.
Antique hunting weapons.
See, didn't steal those either. Like, there's a lot of valuables, like, just openly on display in this room. Like, this fucking vase also, you know? I don't think this place got robbed. There's too much stuff still here. Oh. Well, before we do that, I don't think there's anything else in here. Can we go in here?
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
I would like to examine it regardless, but whatever, I suppose. Oh, that's just shadows. I was like, is that fucking ash?
The death was instant.
Okay, thanks for your input. What else have we got? Alright. We got anything else out here? Maybe evidence of them actually, like, entering the property from somewhere. You know, that would be quite nice. Okay. Nah, not finding too much evidence so far. Maybe one of these days. Bork Bork? We're probably gonna go, like, find Toby, and he's gonna, like, take us to a specific spot out here or something. Because I suspect that they will not find a stranger's scent on that. Really, we're not even gonna check on that? Alright. Like, this just looks pretty obviously interactable, but alright, I guess. Well, that was a productive journey into the garden. Lestrade. Lestrade? Lestrade!
I've searched outside
Okay.
for footprints without any luck.
There's... Did you do it? Again, I'm not really judging you if you did, but, like, I would like if you just told me if you did it, you know? Anyway. I guess we're gonna go find Toby. We don't seem to have too much else going on right now. So, I've got a... I'm pretty determined on on my initial conclusion here so far, as there's very little evidence anybody actually broke in. Toby, my friend.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
Alright. Are you actually following me now? Well...
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
Damn, alright, dude. If you say so. Oh, shit! Low-res dog. He's so angular. Right, oh. Now, you don't want the animation to just stop, you know? Like that. You don't want that. You want a little movement happening still while they're idle.
Search, Toby.
Oh, shit. Let's go. Well, have you heard? There's not a lot of... Oh, here we go. We're on the case, boys. I like how the angle is super close, so they don't really have to animate Toby too much. Where is it? Where's the criminal? Are his legs moving at all? Okay, they are. I kind of wondered if he was just wiggling as his movement. Well, how about that?
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
And then they went this way. They went to the well. How about all the things I tried to investigate, because they would obviously contain a clue. How about that?
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
And then... well, I don't see any more scent. Oh no, there is. We're on the case. They went to the wall. Actually? Oh?
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
Okay.
The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Yeah, they apparently weren't in much of a rush, were they? So let's investigate the shed first.
This hook might be useful.
You never know.
Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest.
You never know.
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
Okay. To the well.
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
I mean, it's the silverware. Oh, attach hook type. Crank it. It's the silverware. The silverware wasn't actually stolen, which is suspicious.
Silverware? This is hardly a coincidence.
Oh wow, the only thing that was stolen from the house wasn't stolen. Crazy.
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Well, well, well.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
Good job, Toby. Let's go. No? Really? Like, maybe just investigate a little bit more on the other side?
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Great job, Toby. Alright. Let's go press the wife. Hold on, I might have to connect the clue here first. Silverware found. So... imitated robbery. Robbery was faked. Deadly accident starting to seem pretty likely, yes. Cannot combine any other clues. Alright. Like... I guess I could be getting baited, but it all seems to be lining up pretty clearly so far.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
She said through thinly
Your
veiled
ladyship.
contempt.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Indeed. Still...
Let us try to open.
Oh,
This safe can be cracked.
oh.
I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
I thought we had to, like, look for the combination. It's so rare you play a video game and you actually crack the safe. Oh. Right there, okay. That, then back. Oh. Okay. Nope, the other way. This is quite a generous mini-game, to be honest. The fact that it would let me do that without just having to re-enter the whole thing. Sir Eustace, your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of a hepatic decompensation. The last time we met, your eyes were bloodshot and your skin was tinged with yellow. There is a particular odor from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are the lung abscesses, Jesus Christ, that we have discussed. The leg cramps you have described to me are caused by an alternation to the nervous system, which in turn is caused by an excess of alcohol. That includes the tremors. Your liver seemed excessively hard at the time of your examination, which is a sign of an evolving cirrhosis. There are also signs of ascites fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evident with your swollen stomach. My man's not doing good. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, oh my god, which may lead to fatal and fulminant pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. I am available to help you with this problem. There are a number of treatment options.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly hard to open. Okay. We want to talk about that?
Oh, what a horrible...
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise.
He does sound like that.
It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
Oh, what a...
Yeah. Alright, so... no personal life from Australia. Someone from the Rock of Gibraltar? Based on what? Lady Brackenstall married Sir Eustace shortly after arriving in England and remained at home during that time. There was little possibility that she or her maid are acquainted with anyone in the country. The fact you present this as an alternative indicates to me that there might be an alternative. But we haven't really found a whole lot yet, have we? So anyway, now what? You want to talk?
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. Such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight.
What the
Another
fuck?
day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
So, by the way, complete bullshit, by the way. Anybody who's like that when they're drunk is also an asshole when they're sober as well. Just maybe a bit less of an asshole. But complete bullshit. If they're an asshole when they're drunk, they're always an asshole.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Unique, isn't it?
And that,
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it
yeah,
down into a
I
well?
wonder.
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place. Or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Well, or there could be no fucking thieves, you know. Inspector's tale, violent behavior. Yep, we figured that one out a while ago, to be honest, but, you know, that's okay. Was that all the clues we got right now? Yes. Well, the ones we could put together. I think there was still one left. So, can we go investigate the rest of the house now?
This...
Okay, fine. What the fuck do we do next? Oh!
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon-Ségur. French wine. Grand Cru.
Scam, but notice 3 people were just drinking here.
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. This glass has some wine traces.
So
but
one of them
no
wasn't
visible
decanted, but the
beeswing.
other 2 were.
It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other 2 are clear.
Yeah. 3 people were drinking wine out of these glasses. One of the 3 probably prefers wine with beeswing. Is that even... Is that a thing? I don't, to be honest, I don't know what beeswing is. There were 2 people drinking wine out of these glasses. The remaining glass with the beeswing consisted solely of the dregs from the other 2 glasses. Okay, so basically either 2 or 3 people were drinking. I don't think... Like, I guess... They already had the 2 glasses out, and they're like, alright, we gotta blame it on the Randalls. So we'll pour out this last one. I guess. I don't know, like... We haven't found anything about that. I can't do anything. Wait, whoa, hold on. Tied with a sailor's knot. Okay, hold on. Whoa, slow the fuck down. Do we have to track down a fucking sailor? Maybe go investigate further with the lady about the beeswing. You.
Please,
Okay.
leave my-
You.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Oh yeah.
Your ladyship.
Fucking obviously, right? They're in the middle of burglarizing this house, and they stop to have a meeting of the minds in the dining room around some wine. Of course, obviously. Holding a fucking cabal meeting in there. Mid-robbery, mid-heist. That seems
Please,
entirely
leave my name
reasonable. Definitely happened. Alright. What the fuck have I not found? Do I need to pick acquainted with a sailor? Okay, if deadly accident is mutually exclusive, then I guess no acquaintance. This seems so likely. Lady Brackenstall and her maid committed the crime in self-defense. Seems more likely, yes. Maid killed Sir Eustace and attempted to cover their crime. They deserve to be treated as criminals. I mean, they could have done that with it still being like an in-the-moment self-defense deal. Like, those two aren't actually mutually exclusive. Did it in self-defense and then thought, oh, fuck. Have to do something about this. No, it can't be. Hold on. Somebody cut the rope and they had to be taller than Holmes, though. Right? Because apparently that's what he said with that. It was someone taller than him. I don't think either of the ladies are taller than Holmes is. You definitely aren't. You're sat down, but, I mean, probably still.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
That's true. Somebody has to have been able to cut that rope, huh? I guess they could have just stood on something, but I mean, Holmes was like, hey, it was cut by somebody taller than me. Who am I to argue with fucking Sherlock Holmes, right? Can I please explore the rest of the house? If we are to determine if she had a friend, it might behoove us to examine the bedroom. But that's fine, I suppose. We don't have to do that. There's no, you know, no need, really. Why is the poker bent, also? Well, I guess if you wanted to make it look like the poker was the weapon, you would just, like, crank it against something, right? Like, look, oh, fuck, they really fucking walloped him with that. God damn. Absolutely beamed the shit out of him.
A fur It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
You're positive they didn't stand on something, though, to do it? Like, you're sure about that? Like, until we find what this goes with, I can't in good conscience actually declare we've solved it until we find, like, all the clues. But I mean, this crime scene is rather restrictive compared to the other locations. Do I have to look at all of the fucking pictures?
A hunter scene.
They all seem to have a pretty similar theme amongst them. You know, hunting. He's got the fucking animal heads.
A fur trader's
everywhere. Like, I get the vibe. He liked hunting, you know. That's just a slight hint I've been picking up from the decor.
A hunter's cabin. The Brackenstall family appear to be preoccupied with hunting.
Like, damn, you really wanted me to look at all of that first, huh? To actually get that? Like, you wanted me to look at every photo. Well, not photo, picture to get that line.
Holmes, don't look at me.
Yeah, whatever, you nerd. Maybe she'll say something about hunting.
Oh, please.
No? Okay, that's fine. Was there something in here with the vision? No. Alright. Maybe there's something in the garden still. Oh, you want me to perform an analysis on the rope? Alright. I never would have thought to do that, but okay. I guess we'll go and run an analysis on the rope. Hello, my son. Have you come to solve crimes with us? Alright, let's analysis. Let's analysis this rope.
See how the rope was cut.
Alright.
The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
Well, it's not gonna have been fucking pliers.
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Yeah. Fascinating. The rope was cut once with a sharp knife and tied quickly in a sailor's knot. That could indicate the intruder had a sailor's background. True. I mean... So, like, what's the other conclusion read? Acquainted with a sailor. Sir Eustace was murdered by the one person who was visiting that night. It was he who tied up Lady Brackenstall. He is tall and strong. The person who was visiting that night was probably a sailor. I feel like I just turned over like 2 pages in the script at once. Like, I hadn't really determined that there was a visitor, per se, that would have randomly murdered him. Kind of just thought they could have been drinking in there. You know, like the woman and the husband could have been drinking in there. But sure, I will indulge this further. You're Holmes, I'm not. I guess you'd know better than me. But, didn't really think that there was just, like, somebody visiting. I guess that would explain multiple glasses, but I feel like you could explain that by there being multiple people in the house that would probably drink together, you know?
Oh, what a horrible...
Please.
Okay, that... Talk to him. Lestrade.
Holmes.
Nope, okay. So how'd we find the sailor? Search for possible sailor suspects. You want me to look in the archive? Oh, you want me to look in the archive for Gibraltar. Okay, I see. I see. That does make sense, yes. Remember to stay hydrated, by the way. Alright, let's go. Research time. Newspapers. 1893. Rock of Gibraltar's arrival. The Rock of Gibraltar, a bulk carrier from the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, Cunard Building, James Street, London, has returned from a 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand, and Australia. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of the Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Brackenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent.
Here it is.
Kent. Okay.
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problem.
Oh, they probably will.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Lads!
Wiggins, would you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
damn, in just 3 hours?
Here it is, Mr. Holmes.
Holy
You
shit!
can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Holy shit! Fucking criminal masterminds! Holy
I left it right
shit!
on the table for you, sir.
God, 3 hours? God damn.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Okay. So, arrived before November 7th. Not that one. Arrival on... no. Or arrived 95, no. Oh wait, no, arrival in London. Oh, no, of course, I'm an idiot, alright. Wait, no, arrival in Adelaide, departure from London. Okay. Gotcha. I wasn't expecting to have to do this much fucking correlating. Oh, it's you.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Not you. Gotcha.
I do
You.
not think that...
No. Oh, you.
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Oh, fuck, is there another
This
one?
list shows...
Oh, fuck, is there another possibility? Shit.
This officer is Captain Jack
Okay.
Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
I guess it... I didn't realize it wanted me to scratch off all the ones it couldn't have been as well. Because I looked through and there was only one it could have been, but...
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Wiggins!
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
How much time later? I hope hours again. I'm impressed after that last outing.
Mr. Holmes?
Oh, fuck.
I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes.
Did you do
It's
it?
important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Did you do it? Why did you do it if you did do it? Clear look. Honest. If you say so, I'll take your word. Seems like a bit of a bold assertion to make, but whatever. Strong build. You don't want me to be like, oh, strong hands, working hands, whatever you usually say. Newspaper ink. Clean boots. Sea knife. So it was you. The other question is why?
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You? And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
Well, yeah.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Shark. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
True.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
I mean,
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
has to have been him. Crocker was aboard the Sharp. No, Crocker's lying. His involvement is clear. He appeared, yeah. I agree. Has to. Well, the thing is, I don't consider the sailors not to be particularly conclusive evidence. Because I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the maid knows how to tie a sailor's knot, to be honest with you. Or they could have just learned while they were on the fucking ship in general. I don't consider that to be particularly concrete evidence, but if we assume that somebody taller than Holmes has to have been to undercut the rope, even though they could have stood on something, but if Holmes isn't entertaining that, I guess I won't. It seems like it has to be him, doesn't it? The only question is, the murder was committed in self-defense. Crocker defended a woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man. The mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it secret. There is no need to inform the police. I think that's the morally correct choice. Because, I mean, there's no way to verify it any further. Like, there's a reason to judge the guy for the murder, and then there's a reason to not judge the guy for the murder. Like, the guy was clearly a fucking asshole, right? So, if he killed the husband because of that, then I don't particularly want to arrest him, because the dude sounds like he was a fucking asshole. If he did it just because he was, like, jealous of the dude, then that is a reason to arrest him. But we can't investigate further. And it seems more likely to me it was like, he knows the dude's abusive, he killed him. I think that's what happened. And to be honest, go for it, whatever, absolve him.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Barely an hour has passed.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow.
Good point, I guess.
And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
Okay.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh fuck, relax, dude! Damn, that fucking went.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations.
I was already
See
convinced,
here,
but
we'll
Jesus.
do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
That was a surprisingly good conclusion.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the
Tragic.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
That kind of makes it sound like we're going to arrest and blame 3 innocent people for that crime, which is perhaps not great. I was like, damn, that was pretty close to a perfect ending for that case. And then that last part kind of soured me on it just a little bit, but I stand by the choice to absolve him. You know, personality ranking is neutral. Amazing. Solve the case the same way. Yeah, it was like 6 people out there. Like 4 people were like, dude, those fucking Randalls, man. I can't believe they did it. Anyway, what I want to meet the 6% of people that were like, "Oh nah, dude," you know. Anyway, no, I guess the Randalls weren't the choice, were they? They were like, "Nah, it was her," because the Randalls weren't actually a choice even in the Oh no, they were. They would have been, I think, if you highlighted certain ones. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. I mean, seems good to me. Not guilty. Case closed. We saved the city, boys. That was a lot better than the Indiana Jones expedition. That was the best case so far, both in terms of actually solving the crime and the conclusion to the crime. Well, the conclusion to the case, not the crime itself, but, you know. Anyway, that was the best one so far. Let's go. Kew Gardens.